Questions?
Yes, shall we start with questions for the Minister?
Or anybody, and I'll pass them on.
Has there been any update yet on possible compensation for businesses?
The discussions are ongoing. I just met the Chief Executive of the Ministry of Social Development, one of his deputies, and the local commissioner, and they have been and are talking with local businesses and the Chamber of Commerce at this point. Everybody, of course, wants to know how long this is going to go on for, and that's one of the challenges of it. But in the meantime, clear message is, if you have any immediate issues, talk to the Chamber of Commerce or talk to WINS and directly, and they have emergency assistance that they can provide. But obviously, the longer term package depends a little bit on what unfolds in the next week or two.
Other questions?
Yeah. The company MSC did yesterday emphasize that they have no liability at all. But apparently you're not so sure about that. Why these different interpretations?
All I'm saying is that I'm protecting the legal position of the Crown around these discussions, and I'm not about to debate legal liability publicly. Obviously, there are ongoing discussions between the various legal representatives of the ship's owners, of the shipping line, and of the government, and those discussions are legally privileged for the obvious reasons, but we will be fully resolving those matters as to exactly who's liable for what.
Minister, we heard in court this morning that the charges may be added to, that the master may be facing charges under the RMA. Previous advice that we've taken seems to suggest that's because there's effectively no cap. Is the government actively looking at that because it's concerned that the liability cap that's there under the Maritime Transport Act is going to limit the cost of this?
Well, my understanding of it is any charges to any individual are not related to the liability under the Maritime Act cap. That's my understanding of it. So whatever charges any individual faces in connection with this incident, they would face irrespective of that, because there are, as you know, a number of laws which they're assessing as to whether there should be charges laid. So the two are not directly connected. So
we shouldn't take from that someone in your team thinks that this could cost more than the $12.1 million or $13.1 million that you think you'd pay?
Well, I certainly would say, Garth, that we've never taken a view on what the final cost will be. It could be well more than that sort of number. It all depends on how what happens out on that ship and how much the oil is lost and comes ashore. And the reality, of course, is we don't know that yet.
A technical question for one of the others.
Sure, yep.
Any other questions for the Minister?
Yep.
Hand over to the operational spokesman.
Mr. Berry, I understood that the teams that were attempting, or it might even be the salvage gentleman there, that were taking a look below decks, we're getting a clearer picture, hopefully today, of exactly what's still holding the vessel together. Do you have that clearer picture, and do you have an idea now of how much longer it might last?
Drew's spoken directly to his team, so I'll ask Drew to address that one directly.
As I mentioned before, the team on board at the moment are a minimum man team. They're actually monitoring the ship as best they can given the weather conditions. As things progress and we can further investigate into the ship, we'll know more and we will report more. However, at this stage, we are not investigating anywhere near the crack in the ship as of today. But for the present moment in time, the ship is not showing any further damage or movement that would causes us any further concern than the serious nature that the ship has right now.